and American football comes flying out of kind of like an explosive dump and right into the hands of a player who
TikTok's infamous deleted in all caps videos. Now, I don't know if he's gonna talk about a specific incident, but y'all know I gotta mention it every time we talk about TikTok incidents and deleted videos. December 22nd. Never forget it. How many of those videos do y'all think are still up from the December 22nd incident? If you don't know, don't ask what is that. Don't ask question mark. Like But anyways, let's get into the video. Is this Boonk?
one of the most notoriously infamous people on
Oh, not this kid. Mizzy, when we talk about fall offs, he's gonna be in the next fall off like tier list when I do influencers or whatever. Oh my god, he came and went just like that. This just goes to show like you should never do what he did for clout.
social media over the past 6 months. Being arrested a number of times for his activity on the internet, the story of Mizzy is one of remorseless crime and corrupt ambition. If you don't know this man by looks alone, you might know him by what he's done. Real name Bakari Ogaro, his backstory might help us understand the circumstances that led him to where he is today. The now 18-year-old
his backstory, I don't care. Was being a nuisance.
Londoner was never a role model student with behavioural issues from at least the time that he was in secondary school. In an article written by The Tab, it said that he started content creation in year 8 when he would have been roughly 12 to 13 years old. The reason he started was that he was allegedly suspended from school a number of times.
Kicked out of school 3 times? 3 times? That's how you know like a kid is like terrible, bad as. You ever had a bad kid in like one of your classes or like a thug that you would only see like once in the year and then you never saw them again? Oh my god, I knew like a solid 3 people in my middle school. So my middle school was so ghetto. I knew 3 people like that. Who knows where they are? They're probably dead, I'm assuming.
Perhaps his new hobby gave him something to strive for. Perhaps it gave him a purpose. For the next few years, he would follow down this route, making videos, but soon he learnt a fundamental lesson of content creation which would guide his life down a dark, new path. Online audiences, for the most part, gravitate towards the extremes. They want to see something remarkable. They want to see something big. Mizzy realised that every time he upped the ante, his videos would generate more views. And so that's exactly what he did. In pursuit of online fame, he pushed his videos to the max. And while this would perhaps work at the start, it was unsustainable. His first feature in the mainstream news would come in January this year after he was accused of anti-Semitism. He allegedly went on a one-man hate spree with Orthodox Jews as his target. He can be seen in 2 separate TikTok videos messing around with these men. In the first one,
he has a kid, come on.
He blocks an Orthodox Jewish man's car and gives him an unwanted hug. In the second, he ran and jumped on a Jewish teenager's back. That same day, he also went up to a third Jewish man saying, "You're under arrest, give me everything you have."
Oh no, I didn't see this. I knew about like the other clip where he jumped on the kid. Hey there, Tommy NFG here. Just a little reminder to make sure to subscribe because only about 30% of you guys watching this are actually subscribed. Also tune into the Twitch streams every once in a while. You know, we have a lot of fun there. There's a lot of fun that goes on there. So I'm ending it right here. Let's get back to the video.
Though he made no attempt to actually steal from this man, this was
crazy
purely
coming from
a
a Brit
verbal
here.
threat. Then
Yo,
in
Lana,
another
what's good,
video,
Lana?
this one uploaded
Lana
to
in
Instagram, he's seen wearing a traditional Jewish hat and is quoted as saying, "I'm a fucking Jew."
Oh my god.
Clearly this was targeted.
Honestly, Mizzy, I don't know if you considered Kick, but I mean, you could basically run free with that shit on Kick, so you might as well start there. I'm pretty sure you got banned on TikTok and everywhere, so.
All of these men were Jewish, and these were all done on the same day. What I'm more shocked with though was that third clip, as Mizzy didn't record this one, the footage was released from a security camera. What this tells me is that even if Mizzy is putting on an exaggerated persona for the cameras, he still acts like this when they're turned off because he didn't know he was being recorded. He went out of his way to harass an innocent Jewish man for no reason. He was arrested afterwards, but interestingly, according to a JC article,
lame ass fucking picture.
No reason. He was arrested.
Nigga took a pic in front of the Burger King like this shit was drip. And what is this, fly straight? Oh my god. Is this how is this like the drip they got in the UK? Not opium? What is this? Oh my god.
Rested afterwards, but interestingly, according to a JC article, by February he was already banned by TikTok. Whether it was because of this incident or not, or even if the claim was true to begin with, I can't verify, as not much is known about Mizzy prior to a few months ago, but I did a bit of sleuthing to get to the bottom of this, and can say that it's likely true, as if you look at the handles of his sleuthing to get.
Y'all see this, bro? Oh my god. Niggas always want to steal my flow and shit. Always want to steal my flow.
To the bottom of this, and can say that it's likely true, as if you look at the handles of his prank videos this year, it seems as though he's gone under the usernames Mizzy Isn't Banned and Secret Mizzy, so it appears as though even before this harassment of the Jewish community, he had already been banned by TikTok. It was also under these new names that he would invade a man's home, that he'd harass staff at a local library and rip up books, that he jokingly stole a woman's dog.
Okay, no, that is ridiculous. He jokingly stole a dog. And, I mean, to be fair, he might have been doing the library a favor. I don't know the last time anybody's been in a library. This should look empty as fuck, but...
Staff at a local library and rip up books, that he
Oh, man. Oh, look at the dog's face. Oh. Yo, why does the dog look like, y'all know that, the Rabbids game? Y'all know what I'm talking about with the rabbits? Is it just this frame or something like that? That's sad, though.
Jokingly stole a woman's dog.
He literally stole, like, Boom's flow, word for word, and bar for bar.
And that he'd harass a group of girls at a train station at night.
Got some nice hair. It's nice and luscious. I'm perfectly fine. We're gonna die.
Over the past few months, though, his name...
See, that isn't even funny to say, too. It's like, that isn't even funny to say, because, like, the way the UK is... Niggas are always on their fucking tippy toes 24/7. I mean, even America shit. If somebody said that, I'm dipping.
Has been almost entirely forgotten about. And I hate to even bring him up here because that's exactly what he wants, for people to be talking about him and the latest crazy thing he did. But in complete honesty, I actually think it's alright, because I believe that Mizzy will be forgotten about just as quickly as he made
He's already forgotten.
Mizzy has obviously made many errors in judgment when it comes to how he behaves, but he's also made a huge one when it comes to his online presence. Let me put it like this. If your brand is to push things to the extreme, you need to push the extremes further each and every time. I think that MrBeast is a good example of this, where every single video it seems like he outdoes himself, because if you stagnate, if you stay on the same level, people will stop watching because you're not doing anything new, you're not taking it to that next level. And if your brand is that you're always going that extra step further, if you stagnate, if you plateau, why are people watching? Mizzy literally and legally cannot push the extremes any further. He's currently set to stand trial for his crimes, and it's likely that as a part of his punishment, he will not be able to post on social media.
Notorious TikToker Mizzy will be back in court next month and failed to appear before magistrates? Magistrates? What is that? What is a magistrates? Is that what they call cops in the UK? Today for breaching a court order. Okay. He was given a 2-year criminal behavior order in May, banning him from filming members of the public for social media videos without their consent. And that's what you fucking get, bitch. So his whole career is basically done for. He can't do his entire career. He'll be done for. I'm praying today that it happens.
Unless he wants to do one big prank every few months when he gets out of prison, what he does is unsustainable, and with his YouTube, Instagram, and all of his TikTok accounts now deleted, it will be very tough for him to maintain his presence on social media. But Mizzy is just one of the many stories that we'll be discussing today. From users who have had their entire back catalogue deleted, to individual TikTok videos that have been erased from the public eye, in this video, we'll be talking about the most infamous deleted TikToks. With that said, let's move on to the next one that we have today. Across the Atlantic Ocean, from London to New York, this is one that the Jets would rather you forget.
Football. Fox? Pass? Okay.
This is Addison Rae. Back in January 2020, she was 19 years old.
Faux pas.
And made this TikTok where she's dancing along to a song. Innocent enough, right? Well, for some reason, I don't know why, whoever was in charge...
I'm sorry, but this was the worst era of TikTok. No, this looks so funny.
Innocent enough, right? Well, for some reason, I don't know why, whoever was in charge of the New York Jets TikTok account thought that it would be fun to post a duet with her video, a duet in which when she bends down doing a bit of a slut drop, an American football comes flying out of her ass, kind of like an explosive dump, and right into the hands of a player who
Bruh, no, that's actually W marketing though. I mean, can you get mad at them? Probably got a solid amount of likes. That's smart marketing, because nobody was gonna look at the account. Oh my god, W marketing.
throws it. Within an
bad.
hour of this video being
Play
uploaded
that,
to the New
please.
York Jets official account, it was unalived.
Got some horny ass niggas in
Though,
this chat.
as the New York Jets would soon find out, once something is up on the internet, it will likely be there forever. This video is now firmly in the hands of the public, and it caused quite a bit
but like
of
they shot it perfectly though. Like, how did they get cheek to cheek exactly where it came from?
controversy. Without knowing the context, many people were outraged, and you might say that they had every right to be. I've told you who this girl is. She's a very famous
Don't do it
TikToker
again.
and whatnot.
She's about to do
and
it
though she
again.
was technically a teenager when this video was shared, she was at least 19 years old.
Oh my
Many people
god.
didn't know this though, because of course they wouldn't. Not everyone
Had to
knows
take a lot
Addison
of
Rae,
tries.
and some of them suspected that she might have been 16 or 17, which would have made this entire situation, which is already very strange, just that much
That's true.
weirder.
Really thinking back to it, like a lot of the fame wasn't Charlie D'Amelio like 16 when she became famous, and Addison Rae and all that shit.
Of course, some other people thought that it was funny, as TikTok has never been the most serious place, and many people thought that this was just the brand embracing the culture. Whether or not this is a good video is up to you, but the girl in the video, Addison Rae, didn't really seem to mind too much, as she reportedly retweeted it. Even if it wasn't for all of the right reasons, this did get people
That video's
talking about
funny
the
as fuck.
Jets, but now their most infamous TikTok of all time is no more. And the same thing can be said about some of the content uploaded by a group of TikTokers who recently struck up a deal with the Shein brand. Let's talk about their now deleted factory tour.
Shein sponsor scandal.
This story dates back only a few months to late June of 2023, after a group of 4 TikTok influencers were invited to go on an all-expenses-paid trip to Guangzhou, located in southeast China, to tour a Shein factory. Now, if you're not aware, Shein
What the hell? Wait, what's the point of the trip? So they can see like how the 5-year-olds produce the clothes or something in the Shein factory? Like how well they stitch it? I'm confused.
has been having a bit of an image problem recently, one that got exposed to the mainstream by a 2022 British documentary, Inside the Shein Machine Untold. Within this documentary, it was discovered that employees on Shein's factory floor work upwards of 18 hours a day, getting paid as little as 3 pence per completed garment, with many of them being paid
What is pence?
as little as $20 a day, and each of them can be fined upwards of 2/3 of their daily salary for
It's
mistakes.
actually so sad.
I discussed workers' rights issues within Chinese factories quite recently within my Barbie video, which you should definitely check
And
out.
you know the sad thing about it? It's like if you live in America and you're wearing a piece of clothing, there's like a 99% chance that it was made by some like literal slave factory worker in China. There's nothing you can do about it, shit. There's nothing you can do about it. Down from the cheapest of cheapest garments to the designer of designer. We all know where it came from and who made it. It's tough, man. It's tough.
After this one, but the Shein factory is just yet another example
Oh, pence
of
is
this.
British pennies? Okay.
Now, if these influencers had watched the documentary, they would know about this. If they had done any research whatsoever, they would know about this. I suspect that they did, but money talks, and these influencers flew out to China, did a factory tour, and generated some positive PR for the company, but this would not go down well at all within their audiences. Now, as a creator who's done brand deals myself, I guess I have a bit more knowledge on this than most people, so allow me to invite you into the secrets of a content creator or an influencer, if you want to use that disgusting word. But essentially, when a brand comes to a creator, they will pay hundreds or thousands or even tens of thousands for an integration, and they will not expect to make all of that money back by people going into the comments and clicking on the link alone. It very rarely happens like that. What they do get, however, is legitimacy, which is less tangible than any data or analytics.
I was about to say, man, and the funny thing is, y'all don't understand how many of these brands like hit up people, like the smallest people to the biggest of the biggest. Y'all should see how many brands have tried to hit me up for their shit, and it's just like it's not even worth it half the time, because a lot of the times they're either, it depends who you work with, I guess, but I don't know, man. I can't even speak. I've had problems with a certain brand before.
But essentially, what they're paying for in part is for a creator such as myself or such as any of these women.
And also, wait, real quick, how many of y'all skip like the YouTube ad every time you see it? I'm not gonna lie, that's like 99% of people. So really think of it like most of the time they're not even paid anything from the links. The click, me, look at that. Everybody literally looks at the timestamp, just goes boop, boop.
Or anyone else you watch on YouTube that has an audience to represent the brand and to say, I trust this. And as an audience, we have a connection. And the idea is that the audience, you know, will trust the creator enough to then think that the brand is good. If this happens enough times with many different creators, audiences will just implicitly trust the brand.
I don't skip on your vision. That's
how
it should be.
From a creator can be worth thousands in itself. So even if the campaign doesn't go incredibly well, it's kind of sown the seeds for something later, perhaps future purchases. And once that bond is broken between audience and creator, if you were to represent a brand like Shein, who are known to be doing some shady things,
Shein? That's a wild mispronunciation. It's actually Sheen. Get your shit right.
it can be very much problematic. All of the creators who made ads for established titles were exposed as people who don't really look into the companies that they work for and represent. I personally know a few of these creators, and at least as of the ones that I know, they didn't do this maliciously, but they were caught sleeping. The
funny thing is, I actually got hit up by that brand like a while ago. The established titles before it came out as a scam or something. I got hit up by them, but thank God I never did that shit. When it came out, it was a scam.
Suspect were paid absolute tons, I'm thinking tens of thousands,
to
go on this trip, to stay in luxury accommodation, to promote the company, and to lie to their audiences. They took the bait and they took the cash. And it gets even worse when you look at these creators, because this incident absolutely annihilated their image. I am only going to talk about one of these women at length because she was definitely the worst in terms.
I mean, is it really their fault? He said, like he said, he said they watched the video. I don't know. I don't think it's their fault.
Of trying to defend her position, but let it be known that all of these women were just as bad as each other. Danny Carbonari made a vlog on it, which is still up on YouTube, I assume for contractual reasons, but all of the women that go on this trip come off as absolutely self-entitled, self-important, egotistical, narcissistic. They come off really awfully. They're sitting around a table, a luxury table, having a luxury dinner that's been paid for them, talking about how they've broken through barriers.
Bro, what the hell? This looks like a Hollywood blood ritual. Oh, nah.
This
doesn't even look like good dining. Why does this look so scary?
To get to where they are, and how they're this great, main characters and all this, whilst they're representing a brand that is exploiting people for next to nothing, and they surely know about it. They surely know. And speaking of Danny Carbonari, she is perhaps the most egregious of them all. She's the one that we'll be talking about at length.
Illuminati Tommy.
She's a content creator, plus-size model, and body confidence activist. If you look at her social media accounts, she loves to be vocal in standing up for causes that she believes in, those mostly being women's rights and fat acceptance. So for her to go to the Shein factory, where female workers are mistreated, to dismiss any and all workers' rights violations, to brush all of the allegations against the company under the rug because she didn't see it, and then have the gall.
See, this is why I could never be like one of these, oh my god, these influencers that are like, yeah, I'm totally family friendly, get it, I never do this and that. It's like, no, I'm so real with y'all. Terrible person. I ban people when they piss me off in this chat, even if it's not really deserved. That's why I always be like that, because I'm real.
To say that as a fat model, she's underpaid 60.
I'm so glad like the influencer girl thing felt like the IG thing mainly, because it's like I never really liked it, to be honest. I don't know, but I never did.
% of the time.
I hate the word influencer.
But in this trip, she was handsomely paid. It was laughable. I'm about to play a clip. This is the most hypocritical, egregious clip I have ever played on the channel. Play it right now.
So I'm just now making this video because I was in works with talking to Shein about how I can bring information from the brand to the consumer and how I can help them with debunking a lot of these rumors. We've come together, signed a contract, I signed a deal with them, and they have come all the way correct. So that's the first.
She sold her soul.
thing I want to note is that they take care of their creators, and especially as a plus size creator, I am about 60% of the time underpaid, and they have definitely not underpaid.
60% underpay? What, bitch, you getting fat tax? The fuck? What do you mean 60% underpaid? How does that even make any sense? It's not like you're getting paid different if you were skinnier.
Paid me and taken great care of me.
Mrs. Carbonari, as a fat model, you get underpaid 60% of the time. What about these people? It
That's ridiculous.
completely undermines
looks
your
like
point.
AI.
She then went to defend it. She tried to defend Shein, and everyone just looked at her like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, the mental gymnastics you have to put yourself through to make those words come out of your mouth is insane. People were not happy with her, and even until today, if you look at her Instagram, the comments on her pinned photo are ruthless, to say the least.
Oh my god. She should just
Carbonari
disable
would
the
then
comments.
only pour fuel on this fire as she doubled down, sticking to her guns and insisting that she knew better than everyone else because she had seen the factory with her own eyes.
I've seen stuff with my own 2 eyes. If you think it's propaganda, that's cool. Again, you
Fun fact, in this video, she also accused her critics of racism against the Chinese as a way of escaping blame.
never been to China and you've never seen what's
got
going
to
on.
stay focused.
That's right, everyone.
Y'all are not real.
Forget the documentary that has visual proof. Forget every report that's ever come out about Shein. Of course, Danny here has seen it with her own eyes. She has seen one factory with her own eyes.
I mean, even if she's not lying, they probably just made like some fake room or something like that that was well ventilated. You know, had them seeming actually nourished. You know, they actually seemed like they were eating food and stuff.
He was invited
Probably
in
that.
by them. Of course, you know, if there was any sort of workers' violations, they would just show it to her, of course. Many
That's what I'm
people
about to- yeah,
have
that's
since
what I
called
said.
this propaganda, and it was. It was. I'm offended right now. These days, if you look for her videos touring the factory or defending her decision to do so, they have all been taken off the internet, never to be seen again, except for right now. It's strange to say, but these kinds of things are just par for the course these days. Growing up with the internet, people are exposed to content that's suited for older audiences way earlier than ever before. Just by the typing of a few keys and the click of a button, you can be on YouTube listening to the most disturbed and deranged serial killer true crime story in
The
existence.
stock video is confusing, man, because I know what he's talking about, like kids being on the internet, but why is there a literal baby typing on a computer on YouTube?
The true crime genre
That
has
distracted
really
me.
taken a foothold within Gen Z. For one reason or another, young people tend to really gravitate towards it. However, this can often come with some unexpected downsides, as often the people who consume this content forget that it is in fact real. To them, the lines have blurred, which can lead to some very unfortunate incidents, such as the Jack Wright Jeffrey Dahmer cosplay.
Oh no, wait, Jack Wright? I mean, we all remember the Jeffrey Dahmer, yo. The Jeffrey Dahmer, that was a terrible era on TikTok. That was a terrible time. Terrible time. Oh my god. Oh, Jack Wright, that was the drama with Sienna May. That was the drama with Sienna. Wait, what the hell?
This story takes place just under a year ago in October 2022,
confused.
a short while after the Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix show was released.
I used to watch the BuzzFeed Unsolved Mysteries. Shit, no, BuzzFeed Unsolved. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, but like I know they say it's insensitive because it's real people in the stories, but goddamn that shit was interesting as hell. I would get an entire bowl of popcorn, an entire bowl of cereal. I was munching that shit, listening to them with the dialogue, and had the little text popping up of them making jokes and stuff about it. After, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm a victim of it too. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a victim of it too. It was amazing.
Netflix had another hit on their
Like it got
hands,
time
and
for
audience
what?
members were told of the brutal and ruthless crimes of Jeffrey Dahmer. For many of them who had perhaps heard his name but didn't know his story, to hear of his unhinged, predatory nature was a huge shock. His crimes were like something out of a deranged TV show or movie, but they were in fact real. This man was a serial killer, he was a sex offender, and a cannibal. Though his crimes were committed more than 30 years ago now, as with all tragedies, it's best to treat them with compassion and respect. So when Jack Wright uploaded his Jeffrey Dahmer cosplay to TikTok, many of his fans were naturally quite upset. He captioned the
That is actually wild. I never saw this.
video, POV psychopaths drinking milk by itself, referencing a long-held trope of mentally unstable characters in media that drink milk straight out of the glass like the psychopaths they are, and these characters include people such as Alex from A Clockwork Orange and Homelander from The Boys. But his audience thought this might have been a bit insensitive. Jeffrey Dahmer was a sick human being, and his victims had family members, many of whom are still alive today. What happened to those boys and men was a travesty, but many people think that if you sensationalize Dahmer, if you turn him into a character, you almost fictionalize what he did. Worse yet is that people have pointed out the strange hypocrisy in Jack Wright being the one to dress up as Dahmer.
Oh no.
If you don't know him by name, you might know him by face, or you might know him as the man that Sienna May potentially sexually assaulted. Just a quick recap for anyone who's unfamiliar with this. During a party in 2021, Jack Wright got extremely drunk. I don't believe I can show the clip in this video just because of YouTube censors. I really don't want to risk anything, but essentially a TLDR is that Jack Wright was with another TikToker called Sienna May, who apparently had a crush on him, and she's seen straddling him and making out with him. And Jack Wright is just completely out of it. He seems entirely unconscious. Sienna May would say that he did have some sort of consciousness. I think she said that he moved his hand, but based on the video, it doesn't look like that.
Everything
with
this incident is so terrible. And like, the funny thing is her account is still up on TikTok and she still has fans. Switch the roles. Oh my God. Can you imagine that? Switch the, it's over. It's over. Like, you're done for.
Was just out cold. I discussed
well,
this
her career is basically done for, but like, she still has her account up.
Incident more at length in my video on TikTok scandals, which you can watch after this one, but as I said, this did not seem consensual, and Jack Wright has since confirmed that it wasn't in a video that has gained over 20 million views. And then Sienna May did an interpretive dance apology, which was like really weird. That video, by the way, might have just been dethroned as the worst apology of all time this year. I didn't make a video on Colin Ballinger's toxic gossip train because everyone was doing it, but what were these people thinking? But I digress. This is all to say that of everyone on the internet to do a Jeffrey Dahmer cosplay, it's very strange that someone who was on the receiving end of SA would do it, considering that Jeffrey Dahmer did have a sexual component to his crimes. The video itself received more than 6 million views prior to its deletion, at which point Jack probably saw the negative reaction to it and thought that it might be best to take it down. Moving on, for this next one, take your blonde wigs off and put your tinfoil hats on, because we're about to talk about TikTok's censorship of climate change deniers.
Oh wow. Wait, climate change deniers. Oh, so people that don't think climate change is real? Even with that whole issue, I'm still sitting here like, what's the point of even like denying? There's 0 point. You gain nothing from it essentially, but that's too much of a political issue. Let's just go.
This is true. News sources started breaking in spring of this year, announcing that TikTok was done with climate change denial content and was now introducing methods to try and wipe it from the app. This sort of content is considered as misinformation and apparently undermines well-established scientific consensus about global warming.
I mean, I don't like any censorship like that. Like, if I saw it, I would just be like, you're a fucking idiot, right? Like, I'm always a person of freedom of speech. Post what you want. I don't give a fuck. It should be like Twitter with community notes, where like it just gets like, oh, this is a lie, obviously, but
TikTok said that the changes would,
of course, it came from TikTok,
accurate climate discussions and reduce harmful misinformation. This new change was launched on Earth Day this year and was symbolic to the Green Movement, but obviously it had its critics. As you might know by now, there is a portion of the population that don't believe in climate change. They deny its existence. If you're a climate change denier, this would be quite an authoritarian move because TikTok are censoring you. Many people released anti-vax content without it getting banned, many people posted conspiracy theories that could be scientifically debunked, but these videos still remain up on the app. Many people would argue that this was a step in the wrong direction. Others, however, have obviously praised the move, as it's very easy to become misinformed, and it's very easy to find yourself down some rabbit holes on TikTok that are unproductive at best and dangerous at worst. If you're a believer in climate change, it only makes sense that TikTok is doing this. Harmful misinformation spread to enough people is obviously not a good thing. Taking steps in keeping the masses informed and fed with factually and scientifically correct information is purely logical. But though this might seem like a new development, you might be surprised to find out that TikTok has actually been doing this sort of thing for a while now, so it's time that we discuss the full extent of censorship on TikTok.
Deletion data? What is that?
Please prepare yourself for some numbers and data porn because I have a bunch of facts and stats to share.
Okay.
If you're unaware, TikTok releases information about their community guidelines every quarter.
Yo, fuck TikTok community guidelines. Fuck TikTok. This shit still makes no sense. Oh my god, I'm so glad I switched to actually doing YouTube. Couldn't stand it. Y'all don't understand the amount of pain you go through with guidelines. They'll take down, literally I post a family friendly video, it gets taken down for 1 second because I had a split second of me like, it's just, I can't stand it.
So we can see everything about the sort of content it bans. Firstly, we can see that between July 2020 and March 2023, there have been progressively more videos deleted, though with a small dip in the past year or so. We can see that the number of videos being deleted via automation is steadily on the rise, and we can see that only a small percentage of deleted videos are ever restored. We can also see the reasons why content was banned. So the most recent quarter released was January to March 2023, and in that quarter, 30% of deleted videos were taken off because of child safety concerns, about 27% were deleted because of what's been called illegal activities and regulated goods, just shy of 15% were deleted because they were deemed to be sexual content.
No, this number needs to be up to like 30%. The amount I see like OnlyFans girls on there now, like they'll just straight up just be spreading their fucking ass cheeks. I don't even know how they get past like the guidelines. It still makes no sense. They just get past the guidelines for some reason.
9% broke graphic content violations, and then there was also 5.3% banned for harassment and bullying.
Only 5% for bullying on TikTok? Yeah, no, these numbers are a complete lie. TikTok, don't make me sue y'all for these lies. 5% on TikTok for bullying should be like up to solid 50%.
5.2% banned for dangerous acts and challenges, 3.1% for self-harm, 2.5% for hateful behaviour, 1.4% for extremism, and 1% for what's been described as integrity and authenticity. We can also see the countries of origin for deleted content within this report. The USA alone had almost 10 million videos deleted in the first quarter of this year, compared to the UK's 3.8 million, Canada's 650,000, Australia's roughly 800,000, Germany's 1 million, and the Philippines' 4.5 million. Then there's also a graph that shows us just how quickly TikTok reacted upon a report. 91.6% of the time, they claim to respond within 2 hours. Going even deeper, we can see the extent of TikTok's bannings today compared to years prior. Clearly, since the pandemic, they've been putting measures in place to ban accounts much more frequently than they did before. In January to March this year, they banned about 45 times the amount of accounts that they did compared to July to September 2020.
And probably half of those were like false, like people that shouldn't have got banned. Have y'all ever checked your following on TikTok? Like, I went back on my following literally yesterday, and there was like 10 people that were banned. And I'm like, why were they banned? They didn't even make anything like terrible. It was just like regular content. TikTok's thing, this is just so terrible.
They even included a list of covert influence operations in which they detail several accounts that they identified were attempting to spread propaganda. Even more surprising to me is that they've included data on government removal requests. Every now and then, governments over the past few years have contacted TikTok to try and get videos removed for various reasons.
What?
And TikTok actually released the information about where these requests are from. So we can see that the USA requested that 11 TikToks be removed.
Imagine your TikTok being so bad that the government straight, the FBI, CIA, like they got your, nah, that's terrible. Is that where they got those videos at the hearing? I wonder what they had. Like, it couldn't be that bad, right? There's no way it's that bad.
And they were 27% of the time. Russia, on the other hand, had more than 300 requests, which were acted upon 97% of the time. These charts tell us that TikTok is not only becoming more quick with its content removal, but the frequency in which these videos are being deleted is absolutely on the rise. Is this an attack on free speech and human expression, or is it a safeguard against violent and dangerous content? Let me know what you think down in the comments, and whilst you're down there, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you...
Okay, great video. I mean, it depends what it was, but... The United States, like 11 or 20 or whatever, it was under 100. Compared to like Russia's 500, nah, there's a huge difference. Russia, hell. Oh my god, but great video.